Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer and I'm here to build a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, you can just go ahead and lurk. That's okay. It is a Thursday night and I've got a model kit to assemble and I'm excited to work on that model kit. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. I'm working on Xavier's Gyan from G-Quacks, and I'm excited to work on that. We'll get that built. We're currently going to work on the left leg, and then we'll move on to the backpack and various other components of this kit. We'll talk about video games and wrestling and all kinds of other things and things. And it'll be a good time. The Band-Aid I was wearing today fell off as I started doing the pre-show conversation. So I have a little bit of tape on my knuckle there. That was my short solution to that, instead of delaying the stream start so I can get up and get a Band-Aid and put that on. So there's that little peek behind the curtain. I had to mention it. Ooh, sorry, I'm just looking at some good looking matches. There was an announcement about a wrestling show, and I like the look of it, so I happened to notice that. My apologies. I got distracted by outside things. But yeah, we're working on the Gyan. And let's you know what? Let's not waste any more time, and let's just go over the overhead camera. There it is. You can see, yeah, I got a little tape on my finger there, and that's on purpose. We are currently at 20 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about how many subscribers I have at 40. I had to end. I haven't had this before. I had to end my goal and then start a new goal because it was stuck at 19. Even though I was like, we have 20 subscribers. I don't know what's going on, but there was an error there. So now it says 20 subscribers. There was a new change that shouldn't. It might affect a few of you. I don't know. I don't know how many people who subscribe to me or someone else with Twitch Prime renew that on iOS, but now you can't do that. That is a thing that has come out. They announced that today. Some sort of disagreement with between Twitch and Apple, but if you are on iOS and you do have Amazon Prime and you linked it with your Twitch, so you have Twitch Prime, if you wanted to support somebody, you have to do it on the web. You can't do it through the Twitch app anymore, which is annoying. But yeah, they're like, no, that's classified as a subscription or something. So that doesn't work, which just means that when I do my spiel at the middle of the stream, hey, Lord Crashton, I'm gonna have to say that every time, which is annoying. Used to have to tell people, hey, don't subscribe to anyone's streams via the Twitch app on iOS because they charge you more to do that, and that was like, don't do that part. That apparently is not the case anymore, which is good. But you're already paying a lot to subscribe to somebody, and now can't renew your Prime on iOS. You gotta go and do it another way. You're gonna go to a website and do it through the website. Yeah, I'm excited to work on this kit today. I did buy some things. My money came in that included my payout for October came in, which included some of the last couple days of September, including the final day of September, which some of you may remember was when we got I got a ridiculous amount of gifted subs, like a unbelievably bizarre amount of gifted subs. So those came in, which was wild and very cool. And that payment has processed. And so I bought a very expensive Lego set. I won't say which one until I have it in my possession, but I bought an expensive Lego set. I did talk about how I was planning to do that. So I bought expensive Lego, and then I've only so far bought one model kit. But I did buy a model kit from a recent Gundam series that I was interested in building as soon as possible. So I did pick that up, and I am interested to see how that goes when I get my hands on that particular kit. I will be buying more kits. I'm basically I'm looking at Amazon to see what's there that I'm interested in. I also am going to be looking at USA Gundam Store and Gundam Planet for deals. Right now, I'm waiting for like weekend deals to appear. And of course, there will be the end of November deals that will come up as we get into Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all of that. I will be looking for deals in that regard as well as they come through. I will be keeping my eyes peeled for some deals, because you never know. You never know what'll come through and what'll appear there. I cannot justify spending $60 on a real grade, even if it is the Wing Zero and it transforms. I just can't justify it. I know it will never be as cheap as that. It will always be, from this point on, it'll always be more expensive. I just can't do it. I can't spend $60 on a real grade, even if it transforms, even if it is a kit I like. I just can't make that justification. I stared at the page for a while on Gundam Planet. I was looking at it, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, I could do that. I do have this money. I do have this good amount of cash. I could make this happen. But I was like, I just know that I'm going to regret spending that much money on a real grade, where I could get, for that price, I could get like 2 high grades. So I didn't end up doing it. But I did think about it. I did think pretty long and hard about it. But in the end, I chose not to. Oh, that's right. I got to do these stickers that are kind of involved. These stickers are, there's a lot to these stickers that need to go on here. They have like the indents to make it easier. So I got to do this. I got to get that. This is also like the biggest sticker on this build. Oh wait, no, not that one. That's the tiny one. Wait. 7. Yeah. And then the other one is 8. That goes like that. Yeah. 7 I want to do this one second. I want to start with the other one and then do that one. That's right. I remember now. But yeah, I picked up a Lego set that was pricey that I otherwise wouldn't get. And then I picked up I did pick up some gear that is long overdue. It is unbelievably necessary. I think one of the issues that I am having with my computer is that my power supply is underpowered for my setup, for what I have going on this computer. I think that is one of the issues I have been having, is that. And that's a rough issue, but I think that is one of the problems that I've been running into, especially with like, sometimes like there'll be this noise, like this stutter that happens when I try to do like one too many things, and that is generally indication that it's a power supply issue. It could be that it's not that it's underpowered for my needs. It might also be a bad power supply after a few years. The computer's not that old, but it's a few years old. And it shouldn't be that, but it would explain some things. But every once in a while there is a noise, like a stutter. And then also you may remember that I had that issue where the PSU is not that old. It's not top of the line, but it was pretty top of the line. When I got this computer, this is a pre-built. When I got this computer, it is only what, 3 years old. Let me quickly see if I remember what year I got it. Windows 11. It didn't come pre-installed with Windows 11, but I had the free upgrade to Windows 11, so it was around then. Let me just quickly see if I can remember where let me just, I'm looking up in my email. There it is. That's what I wanted to look up. So we'll look for that, and then we'll see. Yeah, okay, so it's 3 years old. And like I said, it wasn't top of the line when I got it 3 years ago, but it was it was 3 years ago that I got this PC. And again, nothing I have here is top of the line, but it was like it's still a good computer for all my needs. But probably, I'm going to say this probably, it's either a bad, power supply, or it could be that the GPU and 3 monitors and it just like, and a few other things have just added up and it's like been unhappy. Or it could just be that it's, not good. But there are a couple other minor tweaks I'm going to make to this computer, but that is like the first one is I'm going to see what happens with a new power supply and see if that helps me out. Could just be another Windows quirk, says Lord Cratchit. Yeah, again, my research on looking up the symptoms and the situations that I'm having, because remember, there's that thing that happens where WWE 2K25, where if I play that game, everything is fine. If I play that game and I'm recording in OBS, everything is fine. If I play that game, I'm recording locally in OBS and I'm streaming on a loading page, my computer can freeze. My computer, hello Cyclone, my computer does not just freeze. It just, like that is not an issue. Outside of this, there's some, again, there's this weird stuttering where it's under load, things are happening and it's getting very frustrated. Like that does happen, but my computer is only frozen 2 times, and both those times is when I was streaming WWE 2K25 live, recording locally, and having the game open, and that went sideways. And like I said, if I just play the game, no problem. If I play the game and record locally, no problem. So that, talking to a few people, looking at some crash report stuff, it does seem like a new power supply might do the trick. And of course, I'm getting a new power supply that is also, and yeah, last week, I do not believe it is still under warranty. But my new power supply will be a bit beefier than my previous one. So that's also good. But I did my research and I'm getting something that was decently priced. So yeah, I think that's going to be the only piece of equipment that I buy with the money that came in from all of the gifted subs at September. It may come a time where I need to get something else. I have thought about upgrading my my main SSD is not as big as I would like. I mean, I'm not even using half of it, but I would like to have more space on the main SSD for games and all that, and just running everything. So I have thought about like, well, maybe I need to get a new SSD, and that would be helpful. But really, what I want to do with all that cash that came through is buy a lot of model kits and Lego sets. So I'm going to be in the hunt again. I'm trying to get deals. I'm trying to get interesting things from the stores that I purchase from, and not just like run-of-the-mill stuff. And also new stuff, as I've said. I do want to get cool new things because that's fun. So I did like I said, I did pick up one kit, and then I will be picking up some more kits after that. I can't remember how this goes. If this was Up or down. Actually, appears to be identical, so that's fine. Okay, so put that there. That goes like that. Now that I look at that, yeah, because that's the back thing. Yeah, those look identical there. It's a good time to pick up stuff with the sales going on. Yes, I did get a good deal on that, and then towards the end of this month, I might get a new SSD when it makes a lot of sense to be buying a new SSD. Dealing with some of the sales and all that, and it's not like, some people will buy that, but and then I have to have one of the hardest decisions in PC upgrading: fresh install or just duping and then replacing the drive, cloning the drive and that, or doing a fresh install. And let me just tell you, I have enough weird things, like not necessarily weird programs, but just like, my own like weird setups for things, that the upgrade to Windows 11 got rid of some stuff that I had to rebuild, including like the OBS that I had here. I had the profiles saved, but that didn't mean the same thing as the settings, and I had to like figure out a few things and rebuild a bunch of stuff that, like, now I think I would do a better job of actually not just like saving the profile stuff, but also exporting the whole, like copying the local copy of it and moving it to another, the new thing, and doing that. That makes more sense. That would hopefully keep things the way I would like them to be kept from that. But that was really fucking annoying to have to rebuild a lot of stuff in OBS when I upgraded to Windows 11. But there's some stuff that I'm like, I don't want to rebuild all this. I don't want to rebuild my, like, I mean, I can export it actually, so it's not that hard. But like, I don't want to rebuild the no script thing that I've got going. And just like there's just like a ton of stuff that I don't want to like fucking deal with if I have to. And I will if I have to, but I don't want to. All right, so this is going to look like this. And then this goes in. This looks like this. One of these is 9 and one of these is 7. Okay, so this is 9. Goes in like that. I can't remember how this goes. Always fun. I should just look at this. Oh, I'm doing it upside down. Is that what that was the problem? The problem was I was doing it wrong. The age-old problem of, I was just doing it improperly. It wasn't working because of me. But yeah, computer stuff. My hope is that everything will work out, and the new power supply will do the trick and be the thing I need it to be to make things work right. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'd like to think that would solve the issue. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And I'll move on to the next thing. Might not be the power supply, but getting a better power supply is certainly not going to be a big problem. And then I get to take my computer apart and put in a new one and do all that. But I am looking for deals for model kits. That is the big thing that I am on the hunt for, is model kit deals, because I want to have lots of model kits and Lego sets and stuff going in into the rest of the year. I do not have a themed build for Thanksgiving. I often on holidays have a theme build, but I do not have one of those for Thanksgiving this year. But I will be streaming on Thanksgiving, so don't worry about that. If you were worried that that was going to take Thanksgiving night off, that is a Thursday, and I don't actually know what time my parents and I are going to. Our neighbors are hosting Thanksgiving, and their son, who is like I think a year younger than me, is also going to be there, which is nice. But yeah, they're hosting, and so I was like, okay, well, they're down the street. So like even if it's at night, which I don't think it will be, I can always make it over. Last year we went to our neighbors who were like 3 houses down, and I just walked. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna go. Bye. This one, they probably won't. I'll probably need to get a ride, but it's fine. Let's see. Is this B1 or B2? This is B1. This is B2. Whoops. Oops. Fell on the floor. I've got it now. But yeah, I will be streaming on Thanksgiving. I will not be streaming a week from this Saturday, which is the 22nd of November. Wait, why does it say an ad's going to start? Hopefully an ad isn't going to start, because I ran ads already, so hopefully that's just the dashboard being wrong. But if ads do start, my apologies. I took a 1-minute ad break, so we didn't have ads. So hopefully that's just the dashboard being weird. Like I said, also, it was saying 19 out of 20, and I was like, it's definitely 20. I have 20 subscribers right now. Come on. So the dashboard might just be going through some shit. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So a week from this Saturday, I will be taking the stream off for wrestling, even though I'm not particularly thrilled with the card right now. I still want to see what's going to happen. I'm still interested in the card, or still interested in the show, even if I'm not overly thrilled with what's going on there. I'm not like super jazzed about that. I mean, they added a stipulation that will make it interesting, but I don't know. We'll talk about it. Full Gear 2025. It still has not been confirmed if there is a pre-show match that features Big Boom AJ, one of the Costco men, or the Costco man, I should say, because he's a man with boys. It still has not been confirmed if he's actually a part of that match. And then Max Caster and Anthony Bowens are continuing there. We do not want to be a tag team thing. Chris Statlander is defending her title against Mercedes Moné. It is not for all of Mercedes' belts. It is not for any of Mercedes' belts. It is to see if Mercedes is going to be the first TBS champion to win the Women's World Championship, which I don't think she will, but she could. She could do. I don't think she's going to, but she could do. Hangman Adam Page is defending his men's world title against Samoa Joe. It has now been confirmed that's going to be a steel cage match, and that should be pretty fucking awesome. I don't really want to see them wrestle again, because I don't think their first match was great, and in my opinion, it was probably the worst title defense he's had this run, easily. But putting in a cage changes things a little bit. I think it's going to be pretty good that way. Bandito and Brody King are taking on FTR. That's Cash Harwood and Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler for the tag belts. I've already said my piece on that one. I feel like where I'm like, I don't want the ending that I think is coming for that. Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express are taking on the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander, and we'll either see the Young Bucks join the Don Callis family for real, or they might turn face. I think they might turn face by the end of it and get back together with Kenny, which would be, I don't know. I think that's the way they're going. I don't know for sure, but that's what I think how they're going. There's a Casino Gauntlet for the inaugural AEW National Champion. That's right, they're doing a gauntlet. And they're adding another fucking title to AEW. AEW, they removed a belt, and they're now adding tag belts for the ladies, which is good. And another men's mid-card title, which is bad. Kyle Fletcher is defending his TNT championship against Mark Briscoe. And if Mark Briscoe loses, he has to join the Don Callis family, which is why I think he is going to fucking lose. And that's why I think that the Bucks are not going to join the Don Callis family, because that don't make no sense. for them to do that. If they're also going to be adding Mark Briscoe, that stable is already insanely large. They don't need to add more men. They might add more men, but they do not need to add more men. Hey, when are they going to add a lady to the Don Callis family? That's the thing that not enough people are asking. When they're going to be a cool lady in the Don Callis family, or a tough lady, or a lady that I don't think is particularly good, because who knows? When are they going to do that? When's it going to be time? Half the roster, it's not really, but a good chunk of the roster are already in there, so I think it's long overdue. Let a lady be evil in the Don Callis family. It might be time. That's 6 matches with 2 pre-show. Who knows what's going to happen there? Too awkward to do naked family paintings of Lashbrook. You can make it work. They can make it work. Flowing robes, no problem. So my thing is that I watched AEW Blood and Guts last night, and I don't think the ending of the women's Blood and Guts match, the first ever women's Blood and Guts match, I don't think the ending was particularly satisfying. I think they probably needed to go further for that kind of surrender element, but I did like it. It did continue many rivalries, and it left a lot of, it wasn't like the ending for anything. It was just continuing the violence. There's still the women's tag tournament with implications from that show, and various other shenanigans that came of it. And I think it overall was really good and strong. Apparently Jamie Hayter's kind of banged up and might need a little time to relax, and then also might need some dental work done, which is ooh, fuck, okay. Get some teeth rattle in there. But is otherwise okay. And apparently Sky Blue is fine somehow, despite losing a lot of goddamn blood from getting cut not hard way, but getting cut just way too much, way too soon in that match. She just bled so fucking much. But apparently everybody else is doing okay. But yeah, strong encounter. Some good shenanigans. She never seemed happier than with that Crimson Mask. Yes, Lord Crashington. Sky Blue's a real freak. And I say that positively. That is a positive thing. But she is living for this. Living for that moment. And she fucking delivered. But yeah, overall, one of the best outings for Marina Shafir. She looked dangerous in the ring with already some dangerous people on, but not oh, this person's gonna hurt someone dangerous. I mean, she seemed oh shit, Marina is gonna fucking choke you out, which is good. I could see her getting a title match in the future, which would be a mistake because she's not a good professional wrestler. She still doesn't have that part of it, but she had a good showing in that. I don't know. I thought that was pretty fucking strong. I did not. I had some internet issues last night where the internet went out for me, and so I did not watch Hangman versus Hobbs until today. That was really fucking good. I thought that was a really quality match. The Falls Count Anywhere, they used the stipulation well. They went a lot of places, and there was a lot of fucking shenanigan, and Hobbs looked like $1 million fucking bucks. He looked great. It was a much better match than the one he had with Moxley where he got hurt. That match was real bad, so him having this big singles match here, I thought was great. And Hangman looks like a guy that won't give up and can pull it off in the end. And then when he got saved post-match by Hook and Eddie Kingston looked fucking insane. He's got a Terry later days Terry Funk vibe to him, which is great. Don't get me wrong, that fucking rules. It's awesome. But he does have a are you okay kind of vibe going that I'm into. I would like to see Eddie wrestle a singles match. He hasn't. I hope he's ready for it, but I would like to see him do it. Get back in there. Make it happen. Let's get Ortiz in. People were like, so what's the third man of Hook and Eddie Kingston? Like, if they're going after the trios belts, who's going to be the third man? Because it won't be Hangman. And I was like, well, it should be Ortiz, because he'll take a pin, so Hook doesn't have to eat the pins. Ortiz is healthy. He's just waiting for them to call him in. I think he'd be a great addition. And I think he's just a great wrestler and really funny and fun. So, like, it would be good. And he can work serious too. The only other person, Lasper says, wasn't his first match back a singles match and not that good? I don't remember. I'm looking it up now. I may have blocked that out. Maybe his, maybe it was that the finish was bad. I think that's what it was. The match itself was fine and the finish wasn't that good. Let me look. I'm looking on Cage Match here. Let's look here, and we'll look at matches. Let's see. Yeah, there was the trios. There was the tag. Oh, yeah. The all-out match with Big Bill. I thought that match was fine until the finish. The finish was bad. You're right. And he's also had 2 other singles matches. They've been on Collision, and they have been fine. But yeah, Big Bill versus Eddie Kingston, I know some people didn't really like. I thought it was totally fine. But it was maybe not the best thing for him to come back to. He maybe kind of need to go back against a smaller guy for his first match back. But again, yes, the finish wasn't botched. It just wasn't sold well. It wasn't a full connection. And he should have probably had to do it again. And just be like, oh, one's not enough, and do it again or whatever. Like a nah, and then do it again. Maybe that would have hit harder and been better. I don't know. But yeah, I think Ortiz would be a good third band for that. Or, because that way you get the New York connection. That all works. I think that works out well for all those 3 guys. The wild card would be Brian Keith, who's just fucking hanging out. I just think Brian Keith and Eddie Kingston makes just a lot of fucking sense. Obviously, Houston vibes, not New York vibes, but it fits. It would work. It would work. Let's see. Also, I think Brian Keith would fucking love that shit, so it's always a good reason for something like that. All right, clean this all up, cleaning everything up, and then we are ready to add the leg here, and then we are body complete. Oops, the arm came off. I tried to move the arm to make it easier to put the leg on, and then the arm just popped out. But yeah, and then the men's. So here's the deal: the men's ended great. It was the last few spots in the men's blood and guts were fantastic. They did a whole lot. It was a feel good moment. The last couple sequences were wild, and I thought that was fantastic. However, it might have been because there was the women's match already, so it was the second blood and guts of the night. Maybe it was the fact that it was a long show. I don't know. But the crowd was pretty dead. And then in the middle where they did the thing that it was like, oh, here comes Mark Briscoe. Wait, where's Mark Briscoe? Mark Briscoe isn't here. Why isn't Mark Briscoe here? And then we found out that it was because he had been attacked and he might not make the match. That was bad. It was just incredibly deflating. Now, obviously, you're like, well, that's because, it's so he can come back and we can have this big moment when he came back. But it was like, all right, but right now we're just watching a one-sided beatdown that's not more bloody than the first match. And one of the things that the women's match had going for it that the men's match didn't is a lot of storylines. Like you have Mercedes and Chris. They're going to have a match. You've got the tag teams that are fighting each other, that don't like each other. There are even the fact that Mina and Marina were not originally scheduled to be in that match. They still had stuff to do. There's still the fact that Mina has a tag team with. So it was like, okay, well that makes some sense. Like with Tony, and it's like all of these characters are interacting. Chris, and they even played into the fact that Willow isn't ready to accept Chris yet. Even if that's like trite, it was still something, and a storyline thing that they went back to. Like there was stuff going on. The men's, like Darby has been basically stalking the guys. He's like already beaten Moxley. Doesn't matter. Like OC, I guess, is tired of them. They're not really a threat. They're not really doing anything to anybody. It was kind of just like, why do you fucking care about these guys? Like, why would you care about them? Why do you care? You should move on. Like, you should stop caring. Like, he doesn't have the belt. Why aren't you, Darby? Why don't you want to go fight Hangman? Like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? Roddy's not really even in the conglomeration. I guess you could argue that Kyle and Roddy are mad that their friend joined the Death Riders. I guess because they had like that whole thing where Adam Cole wanted the TNT title from Danny. So like, and they had a whole thing where it was a lot of mutual respect, but then just fucking treated him like shit. It wasn't really mutual respect. It was just kind of like, this is a weird thing that we're doing here. So I'm like, I don't know. It didn't feel right. Now, is there a world where it was supposed to be? This is the rumors. We do not know. There's scuttlebutt out there that the match was supposed to be the Don Callis family versus Kenny Omega and friends. And they didn't do it because they want to keep Kenny a little fresher. He's not coming back till next week, and they're just giving him a lot of time off. So they didn't do that. And then also because Kota Ibushi injured himself. And so they pivoted to this story, which so on the one hand, hey, shit happens. You got to figure it out. You don't want Kenny in that match. You don't, whatever. You don't want to do that. You don't want to go down that road. Okay, don't go down that road. That's fine. Even if Don Callis family is the biggest heel stable in the company, like, okay, well, don't do it. All right, fine. But then, if you're going to replace it, make it good. Make it interesting. Make it make sense. And it didn't, because the Death Riders aren't really doing shit. They do have this ongoing narrative of Kyle O'Reilly has Jon Moxley's number when it comes to submissions. And that's interesting. And I like that. But I don't know if that's going to go anywhere. I don't know if that's what the end game of that is, or if there is an end game for that. And I'm worried there isn't. And I don't know. It just kind of left me feeling like, okay, I was just like going through the motions. But again, I think the ending segments were strong. I think it ended pretty well. It just wasn't really what I was looking for in one of those matches. I was kind of disappointed by the end of it. We'll hit this with some black marker here, clean this up a little bit. This is our backpack. So yeah, a little disappointed. Speaking of disappointments, Crystal Dynamics has laid off some people here. They're doing another round of cuts. That's 30 more developers. They are doing quote unquote painful restructuring. Optimize the continued development of our flagship Tomb Raider game, which is again backed by Amazon, backed by the people with all the fucking money. That is announced 3 years ago. No details have been shared about it or anything. And the only thing we've heard is that it's going to be an open world game, which should be Interesting, I guess, but I don't know. Lashmer says, I feel like this has to lead to the destruction of the Death Riders finally, with Mox's losing streak and Danny betraying all his friends to still lose all his matches. You'd think, Lashbrook, but also you'd think losing the world title and the trios belts would be the breaking point. Like, there was a part where Don Callis was like, hey, we'll help you. We're going to help you by taking out Mark Briscoe, which they did. And not successfully, but they did. And it's like, Moxley was doing this thing like, do you think we need a favor? And it's like, yeah, dude, you had belts and now you don't. You used to be the world champion and now you're not the world champion. You do need help. You are not like what? Like, yeah, dude, like somebody in the group should be like, actually, we would love your help. Like, come on. What are we doing here? It does need to change. I just don't know if it will. But again, studio announced layoffs on LinkedIn because, of course, it's a shame. This is the third round of layoffs this year. And this is also months after they did a bunch of cuts because Microsoft canceled Perfect Dark, which they were working mostly Crystal Dynamics was doing most of that. And remember that they're making a game for Amazon, who just had their own round of gaming-related layoffs and also Twitch layoffs, and that they are part of the Embracer Group. And lots of layoffs and closures and stuff like that have happened as well. My apologies for yawning. This is a serious story, and I apologize for yawning during it, but I am tired. Let's see. PlayStation Japan-centric State of Play happened. They announced a Japanese language only PlayStation 5 at $350, and people were like, why did Nintendo do a Japan only for cheaper, and why is PlayStation doing that? And it's come down to just like a generate, like PS4 didn't sell well in Japan. Monster Hunter being on the 3DS has really negatively affected PlayStation in Japan. It just is. So they're like doing a digital edition for cheaper Japan language only to try to make it more appealing in Japan, where they are struggling. And that's just it. And I know it sounds crazy to say that PlayStation or a Sony thing is not doing well in Japan, but it isn't. That is the reality. That is why there is a cheaper Japan-only version, because Japan is not buying consoles anymore. Part of it is that they kind of, like, they got into handhelds and stayed in handhelds, and part of it is that the yen isn't doing well, and then part of it is that, like, PC stuff has kind of picked up a little bit in Japan. It's easier than it's ever been to get PC parts in Japan or pre-built, and it's happening. More and more games coming in Japanese on Steam. Like it's becoming a bit of a thing. But yeah, so they got PS5, which is about US $350, 55,000 yen. And it's coming out on the 21st of this year. Yeah. It's just a reality of that. There were other things mentioned here at the Japan-centric State of Play, which I did see. Dragon Quest VII reimagining. I think we've talked about that before. In Konbini, one store, many stories. Uh, seems fun. There are a lot of these kind of games. It's interesting that it's coming to the PS5. In Konbini, like, it makes sense that if you're doing a Japan-focused show event, that you would do an event that is like convenience store mentioned. I think that makes a lot of fucking sense. Okay, so if we want, we can take these beam sabers out, these parts out, add some stuff, and make them to beam sabers. We're going to keep them there and not do the beam sabers. I will show you what the beams look like. They are short, and these are my lesser favorite beam sabers here. The short ones. I like longer beam sabers. This is me. Coming next year, Coffee Talk Tokyo, which is the latest game in the Coffee Talk series. And it is a cyberpunk futuristic Tokyo. And you're making coffee in a cool cyberpunk cafe in the future. And that sounds fucking cool. That sounds cool and good. Broke Lore Unfollow. What's the 2 new games in the Broke Lore horror series? Unfollow, which is about social media stuff, coming in January, and then Ascend, which is on vertical climbing, and that's coming out next summer. And I have never heard of Broken Lore. I might have even in this conversation called it Broke Lore instead of Broken Lore. I have never heard of this. This is not for me. If you like games in the Broke Lore series, I'm happy for you. You get 2 more. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Fatal Frame 2 remake, Crimson Butterfly. Team Ninja is doing it. And that's a remake that's coming out March 12th. And that looks spooky as hell. And I don't know, it looked like a pretty good rendition of that kind of thing. So I was like, all right, so we don't need these yet. We do need these parts. We're building our shield, which has like weapons on it, which I'm always a big fan of like the defensive that is also offensive. All right, and all of these are A11. All of these are A11. So I'll just take out all the A11s. I need 6 of them. Dynasty Warrior Origins is new DLC, Vision of 4 Heroes, that comes out next year. If you've been playing Origins and you're looking forward to some DLC, that's coming. Gran Turismo 7. The Gran Turismo 7 Power Pack, which is adding new race models to the game in 2025. That's coming this year. At some point this year, if you are looking for more for Gran Turismo 7, you're getting more Gran Turismo 7 packs. Then there were a few like quick little hits. A sci-fi puzzle platformer called Motion Wreck that looked pretty neat. That I was like, ooh, all right. Wandering Sword, which is a one of those HD 2D games, but it is set in China, ancient China, and I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. All right. No Sleep for Kadame Date. AI, the Sortium Files, coming to PS4 release. And Tokyo Extreme Racer. There's some new DLC stuff for Bandai Namco. I said Bando. Bandai Namco has some DLC, 2 DLC with new levels, cosmetic, and music's coming to Once Upon a Katamari. So that's nice that they're going to continue to support that with some DLC, or actually start to support that with some DLC. That's cool. We like that. We like hearing about that. Pac-Man World 2 Repack is getting levels from Sonic the Hedgehog. Pac-Man is wearing a Sonic the Hedgehog costume, and he can run around in levels that were reminiscent of Sonic. That's the thing that's happening in Repack. And those are out. And then Digimon Stories Time Strangers is getting DLC with a new story chapter that adds 5 new Digimon to the roster. And that's coming out this winter. And then people were mentioning this. Super Robot Wars Y is getting a collab DLC, which adds characters from Kamen Rider. And that sounds pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm happy for people about that. That seemed stoked as hell for some Kamen Rider goodness in their Super Robot Wars Y. Indeed. Also, wait, was there big? Was that real? I think, was that from this? Was that like a rumor? The Big O. Yes, Big O DLC is real. That's right. That was announced a while back. That's right. That was announced in the summer. That's right. The Big O and the Kamen Rider was announced, but they're getting that. Okay. Yeah, I don't pay attention to Super Robot Wars, but yeah, Big O stuff was that. Okay, that was right. I didn't make that up. Monster Hunter Wilds getting some DLC. Free title update 4 is coming out in December. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is getting more crossover characters from Knights and Super Monkey Ball. I think Super Monkey Ball being in Sonic Racing, that's good. Knights being in there feels weird. That just, I don't know why. I don't know why. But that does feel very fucking weird and wrong. It feels wrong that Knights is going to be in there. I don't know why. Nevergrave, The Witch and the Curse seemed cute. Action platformer. It seemed like cute visually, but also a pain in the ass. There's more Blaze Blue stuff. Blaze Blue Entropy Effect subseries with Entropy Effect X. It's an action platformer. Little small games. A twin stick shooter called Damon and Baby. This Gaia team is making another RPG called Fate Trigger. No, sorry, called Kyoran Makasim, and then Fate Trigger, which is a hero shooter. Octopath Traveler 0. Yeah, there's a demo. Remember, that is the mobile game that they took the name from the mobile game and they're adding a bunch of stuff to make it a regular full video game, which, sure. That was the beloved franchise that they were going to look at from Square Enix. Marvel took on Fighting Souls. Fuck yeah, man. That just looks so good. There's going to be a new beta test and new stages, and then Spider-Man and Ghost Rider are going to be in there, and the test will be December 5th to 7th if you're a sicko for that stuff. I gotta put all these fucking stickers on here, do I? Yeah. Stickers number 1 have to go on everywhere. How many of these? I gotta look at this. Let me make it bigger here. Okay, so it's just 2. All right. All right. Where's this? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. So it's, there got to be more stickers that have gone here. I have like more stickers on the sheet. Oh, just those 3. That's right. I just have those 3. Okay, so it's, oh no, because there's the ones underneath it. Yeah, so it's the 2 rows. It's the first 2 rows, but not the 3rd row. But I have to put all of these stickers on. Elden Ring Night Rain. Yeah, we talked about that previously, how there was going to have some more DLC. And yeah, that was it. It seemed pretty neat. Um, on Saturday, we'll talk about some other news. Um, because there's usually not a lot of news over the weekend, so I'm going to save some of these news stories. We'll talk a lot about the Valve stuff. We'll save the Valve stuff for Saturday, because there is a lot of stuff to talk about there. I did want to just end this with like one kind of cool thing. I'm sorry, I'm just saving some story stuff to talk about tomorrow. Humble Bundle Vets open up a new platform, new discovery platform. So some people that made Humble Bundle what it is and left during all of that shit because it was a rough scene and layoffs and all that other stuff. They have started a new platform called Digifile. Digital storefront called Digifile in a bid to deliver the next big thing in community-focused discovery. It's a discovery program for digital media enthusiasts that will offer curated premium game and book bundles that benefit users, creators, publishers, and charities. So they are not going too far from their bread and butter. This is just not what I wanted to pull out of here. This can't be what I wanted. Oh, so that is that what that is? Okay. It's got to. All right, this makes a lot more sense. So I thought that this was 2 rows of big stickers. This is not that. It is a clear sticker. Part of it is clear, and then each edge is that, and then it goes on like this on here, and it bends around each one. Okay, so 1, this is going to be a lot easier to apply, and 2, it makes a lot more sense. So I'm not going to be doing 2 little thin ones here, but that was not explained well, and so I am frustrated with that. But that is a lot easier of a sticker to, it has a little bit of hangover on here, but that is a lot easier to apply than I thought it was going to be. Holy shit, that's way easier. Thank fucking God. I still don't know where these 3 stickers go. They must go on. Oh yeah, all right. The part of the lance that we have not built yet has stickers on it in that one section. Okay. So yeah, so now I just need to find where this starts and ends. There it is. Okay. Yeah, this makes a lot more sense and should be a lot easier to apply. Whoops. He says as he completely whiffs. But yeah, this is several former Humble Bundle staffers, including the Game Bundles team lead Alex Hill, the team members, some choice teams, customer experience manager, and the storefront manager. So this is a bunch of people from Humble starting a new thing that is clearly a Humble competitor, even focusing on books and all that, most likely leveraging a lot of their previous relationships with developers and all that. And I don't think that's a problem or a bad thing. And I wish them well. But yeah, I hope it goes good. I hope it goes well for them. It would be nice. It'd be nice for that to work out. All right, let me apply one more sticker, then we'll take a pause for the cause. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel. Then we'll get into the anime talk in the second hour and more video game stuff that you've been playing and all those things and things. We'll get into all that, the second hour content. We just really quickly finish applying this sticker. And, all right. Hell yeah. Okay, we're halfway done, but I know what I need to do for the rest of this. And then also there'll be some stuff that I have to panel line with this once it's done and all that. But we got more building to do here, so we gotta get all that together. But right now, I'm gonna move my chair a little closer. What's going to happen now is I'm going to talk to you, the viewer, about ways that you can support the channel and what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk to you about is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. But if you would like to, that would be rad and I would love it. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money or or using your Prime Gaming token. Reminder, now you can't do that through iOS. So if you do subscribe with me using your token through Prime, when it comes time to renew, make sure you're doing that on the web and not trying to do it through the iOS app. Sorry, that's just what's going on. You could also gift a sub. You could be like Aristofan and gift some subs. We're currently at 20 subscribers. The goal is to double that and get to 40. I shut up about the number of subscribers I have when I hit 40. So if you'd like to become a subscriber or you want to gift a sub, that would be great. Bits and coins are also always appreciated. You could join. You could be on top of the cheerleader board, which is fun. If you want to do that. And there are other ways to support what I do here. It's just, if you're already here on Twitch, that is the easiest way to do it. You could go to my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. Over on my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different awards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. I will be putting up a poll tomorrow for my $10 patrons to vote on what kit I start on Saturday, because I don't know for sure if I'm going to finish this up tonight. I might be finishing it up, but either way, I will definitely be finishing up on Saturday, and so I will need to know what to build next, and you could help me figure that out if you're a $10 patron. I will have a poll up there for that. Let's see. I also have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBaer. Over on my YouTube channel, you can, of course, subscribe for free. And if you want to become a member over there, you can be a member for just $2 a month, and you'll get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So that is another way to support what I do there, is to do that if you wanted to. That is a way to support what I do. Over in there. Now, those are all monthly ways to support me financially. If you just want to throw $1 or $2 in the tip jar, well, you can do that. And I've got Ko-Fi and a PayPal, and I would love that for that. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out. I'm so close to hitting the threshold for a Google payout from AdSense. I'm dollars away. I might be able to do it by the end of this year. My November or December payout might hit that. I don't know. We're close. We're so close. I'm gonna check real quick here. I think I'm at like $96. Let me see. Come on, AdSense. Tell me how much it is. $97. I am $3 away from getting a Google payout, which would be fantastic. But yeah, all of that goes into a fund, and from that fund, I buy model kits and equipment. I have a backlog. As I said at the beginning of the stream, I have new stuff coming in. I have some stuff in the backlog. There'll be a poll again tomorrow for what I build next from what I have in my backlog, not counting new stuff that's coming in the mail. Yeah, I should also say that the kit I'm currently working on was bought off my Amazon wish list. An anonymous person bought this model kit for me to build, and I've been building it, and it's been fucking great, and it looks real good. If you would like to buy something for me to build on stream, you could do that. If you want to give me an early Christmas gift, you could do that there. I have an Amazon wish list. I have model kits and Lego sets. There is like knockoff Lego, like other brick kits, like this Halo the series vehicle. It is a Banshee from Halo the TV show, which I've never watched, but it's the Banshee, and it comes with a figure of a guy I don't recognize. And also Mattel got into the brick kits a little bit with some cars because of the Hot Wheels, which makes sense. I'd love to try that out. That's also on my wish list. And then model kits and Lego sets and inexpensive things and very expensive things. By default, the list goes to like most recently added, which I hate that is what it is. If you switch it to custom, I organize, and you should do that by like price. Or I guess you could just do lowest price if you want to do that. But anyway, if you buy something from that, it comes to me in the mail. I make a dedicated video on my YouTube channel about the thing you purchased, and then it jumps the queue and becomes the next thing that I build because you deserve that. At the very least, you deserve that stuff. My alternative to Amazon is I have a wish list on Throne. If you would like to buy something and you don't want to go through Amazon, check out my Throne wish list. And then the most convoluted way to support me financially, if you really want to spend money but you need it to be weird, you go to USA Gundam Store. USA Gundam Store, you can make you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper here on Twitch, or a DM on Twitter, or Blue Sky, or Mastodon, with that gift card code, and then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. Like, that's the way to do it. If you want to do that, you could do that. It would be pretty rad. We would love to have you over there. Buying something weird for, buying a gift card, and then you could be like, hey, they've got this kit from G-Quox. You should pick it up. Nathan just resubbed with Prime. That's 39 months. Thank you so much, Nathan, for that. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site. Tier 2 Blue Emote in chat. Thank Nathan very much for their continued support. Appreciate you, Nathan. Very kind of you. I'm going to throw some emotes into chat. But if you're here, you should also throw some emotes. Everybody, if you would like, you could join my Discord. We would love to have you in the Discord. It's a cool place. I got a couple of video links for you to check out. Today, this week, I should say, I posted a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club. If you would like some recommendations for this season, you should check that video out. I tried to mix it between some romance stuff that I recommended and also some action, and one show that is a romance and action series that's also funny. So I try to give a variety of things. There is of course, I recommend an Isekai. Of course I do. I'm me. I recommend an Isekai. Recommend some action stuff. I recommend a series that's in its final season because I'm like, hey, you should fucking get caught up on this show. It whips ass. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. And all throughout the month of November, the theme of this month is recommending shows that I slept on myself, that I took too long to really appreciate, and I didn't think I would like. But it turns out I really do like it, and I fucking goofed. And so this second week, I'm talking about Apothecary Diaries, which I have eaten up the first two seasons of. I love it so much. At first, I was like, I don't know. I'm not really into it. The vibe doesn't seem right. The setting doesn't seem to appeal to me. I don't know. I was wrong. Mao Mao rules. She's a great character. The supporting cast is fantastic. It's weird and funny and strange and dramatic. And it's like, just awesome. You should check it out. If you haven't, let me be the reason that you finally do. All right, that's all of my recommendations, but we're going to talk about some anime here. Even more anime talk. That's right. Pat's going to talk about fucking more anime. Before I do that, I'm going to drink even more water than I just did. And we have to dramatically transition back to the overhead camera so I can keep working on this model kit, which I might finish tonight. I didn't think I would, but I might finish it tonight. We'll find out. And we'll do all of that right now. All right. Let's continue to put these 6 stickers on. And while I'm putting stickers on, I will say, let's talk about 2 anime shows, episodes 6 of Yano-kun's Ordinary Days and episode 7 of A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. We might actually finish this kit tonight. I don't know. We're going to have to panel line this and do all the other stuff, but there's a chance we finish it. I don't know. I don't know if we will, but we might. But first things first, I got to get these stickers out and applied. If we don't finish this kit tonight, we'll definitely finish it on Saturday. So either way. Okay. That's a wild looking shield. Yes, this shield is awesome because it is a shield that has a bunch of parts that are going to snap into it, and then also has a bunch of weapons on it. It is a function. It is a shield for offense and defense, and I love that in a kit when it does that shenanigans. I'm always a big fan of that. But yeah, this is not done yet. There's more parts that have to go on here. I love this. This might be my favorite update of a kit for in G-Quux. This version of the Gyan, I think, fucking rules. And I'm not the biggest fan of stuff from G-Quux, updates in G-Quux, but I really think this one is charming. All right, so Yano-kun's Ordinary Days. Yano confessed in episode 6, just kind of like basically confessed his feelings. This is episode 7, that's right. Completely, totally confessed his feelings in episode 6, because he kind of figured out, oh, I like you, and he's just like, oh no, what do you think like means? And he's just like, no, I think I'm in love with you. I need to make that clear. And then Yoshina's just like, oh yeah, well, I mean, I've had a crush on you for a while. That's what I was dealing with here. We like each other. Again, episode 6 of this slow burn. They're like making the most of it. So we have another PE class, another gym class, and it turns out, hey, Yano's actually pretty physically fit. You know, what with him, he's got to be tough to survive all of the accidents that befall him constantly. He is not good at high jumping. And he does injure himself a lot because that is what happens to Yano-kun. But so yeah, it turns out he does fall a lot in the high jump attempts, and people feel bad about it. But he's trying. Both of them are like wondering, are we dating? Should we be dating? Should I ask, like, what happens? Neither has any idea what's going on. So Yoshina's just like this really weird and interesting introspective thing where she's like, I can't think of a good reason why we should date except for the fact that I want to date him. And she doesn't think that's a good enough reason. The fact that she is interested in dating him is not enough of a reason. She's trying to like come up with another one, which is very funny. We have this thing where Yoshina's sister invites like the experienced friend over to give some advice. So we have Miyu come over. Also, I should mention, this is not an older sister. This is her younger sister bringing over her friend. So this girl is in elementary school, but she is a relationship expert. And this is a strange turn. A strange character introduction, but I'm happy about it. Because it turns out her expertise is the fact that she reads a lot of romance manga, and she reads a lot of romance manga that's meant for adults. I don't think that means like adult oriented. I think they literally just mean like not something a kid would be interested in reading, but not like smut, just like adult relationships. So basically, Miyu is just like, you should text him and you should try to spend time with him so you can learn more about him and he can learn more about you, which is like not bad advice at all. Like, you should open up the lines of communication. Don't feel like you have to wait for him. And then also, you should hang out and get to know each other better outside of school. And it's just like, this is very good advice, Miyu. So Yoshida's just like, hey, I'd like to learn more about you and spend time with you. She just like says it word for word, basically. And so then they start dating, because that's what dating is. It's spending time with each other and learning about one another. So now they're dating, and they're pretty psyched about it. And it's all very fucking cute. Later, Hashiba, that's the guy that also likes Yoshida. And he runs into Yano, and they have a little bit of a heart-to-heart, where he's like, hey, we had that art class, and you inspired me. I've restarted going to art club again because I had stopped going, and it's like a nice little personal moment for this like supporting character in a show, a guy who is aware that he is a supporting character in another other people's stories, which is kind of fun. That he's just like, oh yeah, this guy understands that he is not the main character of this story, and that's a fun bit of business. Yeah, they have a little thing. Because he's technically a member of the art club, but he hadn't really been going, and now he's kind of getting into it. And then he quietly is just like, hey, good luck. He's started to come around on actually thinking Yano's pretty good. Yosha and Yano go to the movies, but Yoshida is too worried about Yano getting hurt and having to look out for Yano that she does not pay attention to the movie or enjoy herself at the movie, which is a shame. It's a fun scene. I think that the times where she is too fucking excited about stuff and too like overwhelmed with worry are not my favorite scenes in the show, but they put a lot of effort into them, so it's very clear that like somebody who was working on this, like the mangaka or the anime studio, like people like this, they like focusing on this. It's not my favorite part. Yano though enjoys the movie, and so Yoshida's just like, well, I guess that means it was a good date. If he liked it, that means that this was a good date. I put this on backwards. I have fixed my problem. And then she's going to try to relax more on their next date. Because, like, also, I don't know if she's learned this lesson, but it would be a good lesson for her to learn that, like, you can't worry about how this guy's going to get hurt, because he's going to fucking get hurt all the time. Try not to get him hurt emotionally, but he will physically get hurt all the fucking time. That's just this dude's fucking deal. All right, now we can put some cap pieces on here, and I think we're going to panel line this now because the other pieces are all connector pieces for the arms, so the arm can hold the shield. So we might as well just get these all connected like this. So we'll get those all bounced out. Good episode. I love that they're dating. I love that this was not episode 12, maybe they'll date soon, right? Like, they are a couple now. I mean, they're dating, they're figuring it out, and we get to see now half of this series about them dating, and I think that's fucking awesome. I think it's real great. All right, so our boy Takaru in A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. Our boy Takaru is traveling the world with his companions, a dragon friend, a dragon man who is different from the dragon friends, and an elf who is hungry all the time. They were fighting some monsters. They are they met a noble, and this young noble woman, this girl, wanted B the dragon, And Takeru, like, very nicely talked to this girl and made her understand that she had, like, she basically was asking a family, you know, him to, like, give away a family member, and how he wouldn't never do that. And then they meet the Lord, who is like, hey, I heard you helped a friend of mine. I would love it if you could help my wife. She is very ill. And turns out that Takeru is just like, oh, this woman has a bunch of health issues, including a poison, Ivor poisoning, which he doesn't know what that is. But she's got a lot of shit going on with her. And so he is going to, now in episode 7, he's going to try to fix this shit. So we'll see if he can pull that off. All right, let me just do a little panel line in here, get some color on this, and then we'll build the base parts that we need to build to make this thing connect. Go around and do a little extra panel lining, make this thing shine. So he heals her eyes, which have been damaged first. And then he finds out Ivor is an ancient poison. So she has Ivor poisoning, and Ivor is like this ancient poison no one remembers how to make, and nobody remembers how to make the antidote because it's like lost knowledge, which is bad. That's bad news if they don't know how to cure it. So they go and start doing research about some books from ancient history of the family, because maybe there'll be a clue. But a bunch of it is in ancient language. But Takeru can speak all tongues, which is a very convenient skill that he has, because, you know, Isekai. So he can speak all tongues, so he can translate it easily. He finds out Ivor is a golden flower, and it grows near a lake with a horse-shaped statue nearby. So if they can find this particular horse statue and the lake, that is near a nearby village. And then because she was poisoned by this ancient poison, Takeru is like, this is not an accidental poisoning. This was on purpose. So Takeru puts a barrier around her so they can go in case she gets attacked. The lake has been polluted by a toxin. Is that to keep them from being able to find this flower? We don't know. Because coincidence. It just so happens that there's a merchant who is willing to sell this, to trade with this village supplies in exchange for the Ivor flowers once a month. And they call those divine flowers. It's just so happy. And of course, you know it, I know it, Takeru knows it. This fucking merchant was the guy that was poisoning them this whole fucking time. He's been poisoning the lake, because of course he is. Takeru restores the village, and he basically, we get to see Takeru do a bunch of cool gathering magic, like high class, high powerful gathering magic, where he restores the fields, and he cleans everybody up and helps everybody out, and then he cooks a bunch of food for everybody so they can regain their strength. And then he's like, okay, we did all that. He trades them for one of the flowers so he can make the antidote. And unrelated to the quest they are on, Takeru makes an important discovery. There is a fruit that tastes a lot like soy sauce. The juice is like soy sauce. So Takeru is fucking stoked as hell because he's getting goddamn soy sauce, which, as a Japanese transplant, he is fucking really excited about. He's so stoked about getting this goddamn soy sauce. Let's see. Takaru's barrier works and prevents an attack from the butler. That's right, the fucking butler did it. Bernard, who is also the person that was teaching the daughter to be hoity. That was the person from the previous episode that was like teaching her like shitty manners. He's the poisoner. And then so he gets exposed on that. And he gets arrested, and then they find a encoded letter in his room. And then, meanwhile, finding out that he can't trick them to give him the Ivor, that merchant, the shitty merchant, shows up with a bunch of goons to take the Ivor. And then we'll find out in episode 8 what happens. And I can tell you what happens in episode 8 without spoil. I mean, I've read the manga, but also, those thugs are gonna get their fucking asses kicked. But something else is gonna happen in episode 8, which you weren't expecting. Of all of the things that are gonna happen in episode 8, maybe it doesn't happen in episode 9, but I think it's gonna happen in episode 8. A thing is coming that you will not expect and not be prepared for, and it's going to be pretty good. There's going to be something pretty good. This show is unbelievably easy to watch. That is a very easy watch. It is a very enjoyable show. I have described this, and also, may I ask for one final thing, as satisfying. I was talking with a friend, and I have not recommended an anime in a while, but we were talking, and I was like, hey, wanted to slip in here and recommend an anime for you. And the anime I recommended was, of course, sorry, I'll make sure I'm doing this right here. The anime I was recommending was, of course, may I ask for one final thing? Because I was like, and I described it as satisfying. I was like, this is a satisfying anime, and I think you will enjoy it. And I stand by that. Those are satisfying shows. Gathering is just like another easy watch isekai. It is it's a bit of a turn your brain off isekai, which I don't think there's anything really wrong with that, because I think it's just like, yeah, it's just an easy watch. Easy, enjoyable. Okay, and then I need to put this on like that. And I don't. There are challenging anime out there. I'm watching a few that are like sometimes gory, sometimes just depressing. Like I'm watching a few shows that have like fucking stuff going on in them that make them a bit of a hard watch, but still compelling. And I don't mind every once in a while watching something that's just like, I don't know, this one's fucking pretty goddamn easy breezy. And every once in a while I'm pretty stoked about an easy breezy show. Okay, so we're gonna put it on the left arm here. There is that's gonna snap in like this. This is gonna go in like this here, or does it go in? Did I do this wrong? Yes, okay. Apparently, this was supposed to go there, and I put these on the wrong ones. All right, I did this wrong. I've gotta take this here. This piece has to go where this piece goes. And then also this is on upside down. Wow, I really did do this wrong. I'm fixing it now, everybody. Don't worry. Luckily, I didn't screw anything up. I just did it wrong. All right, so that goes in like that. And now I'll just have to do like this. And then this is going to go in like this. Yeah. Okay. There. All right. And that goes like that. Okay, so now this should go like this here. And then that swings like that. And then this is going to go up and around this part. The way the shield connects to the arm confused me, but it makes more sense now. This is making more sense than it did. But it did confuse me for a little bit there. Starting to understand it better now. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on? I always love hearing from you about those things. So please feel free to let me know what you're up to and what you got going on. I played a little bit more Power Wash Simulator since Tuesday's stream, where I did stream Power Wash Simulator, of course, and had a good time with that. But I have done a little bit more in the game since then. Not a lot, but a little bit more. I've really just been focusing on Hearthstone, which I'm going to be streaming next Tuesday. So I put a lot of time into getting that looking good. I have 2 decks right now that I like. One is a weapons deck, and that is a style of deck I don't often play, the OTK weapons deck, but there is a pretty good way of getting I have a Fabled card, which also puts a weapon in my deck, and that weapon, when it breaks, it goes back into your deck and is stronger, but Shaman has a lot of ways to really buff a weapon, and also there's a new card that makes the weapon cost less, and I'm like, so I made an OTK weapon deck that, like, it's not perfect, but it's pretty fucking good. So I'm playing that. All right, so we got our shield here, which you can see. You can kind of like move around a bunch. You can kind of have it hold like this. But we're going to do the attack version, which also you can then open up all this stuff here. This just fucking looks rad. Goddamn weapon shield. So yeah, here's our goddamn cool looking shield. It rules. Oh, I forgot. When we build the lance, we're also going to build a stand for it. Just build that. Well, let's switch this and build the stand now, so that way we have somewhere to put that. So yeah, I've got a weapons deck that I'm liking in Hearthstone. That is that I've been enjoying working on that. And then I also have an OTK deck using a couple cards that switcheroo. I have not played a switcheroo deck in a while because I don't play priest all that often. Basically, you take a small minion, you take a large minion, you swap their stats. The small minion does damage, or the small minion heals someone as much health as you have. So you have a big minion that does that. And then you play a card that means that for this round, any healing is actually damage. And then you just do a bunch of healing spells at their face and swing it to the board. And it's pretty fucking good. It's occasionally, if you run into like a zoo deck, you're just going to fucking lose. You're just going to completely and utterly lose, and there's no way you're going to win because you can't beat a zoo deck fast enough. But it's pretty good. So of those two are the 2 decks that I'm currently playing. And then I'm playing my a holdover from last expansion that has like 1 new card in it. It's pretty good. My Lyra deck, my 1 minion deck, for me very rare 1 minion deck that I'm enjoying. And I'm still playing like some other of my older decks that I like. So I do have a couple new decks and a couple decks that are not new, and I'm trying to find like maybe 1 more to showcase next Tuesday, but I have some time to figure that out because it's only Thursday, so I've got time to kind of find another new deck that I like to show off. But I'm looking for at least 1 more scam deck, because both of these are kind of scam decks, but they're not like really that scammy. I mean, one of them is very scammy, the other one's not really that scammy. So I don't know, I'm looking to find some more stuff going on with that deck. So I think it would be cool to play on stream next Tuesday. Any other video game stuff? This weekend, gonna play more Helldivers 2. It has been a fucking minute since I played some Helldivers 2, and there has been some requests among the group. We are gonna play next week. We've got a date on Wednesday afternoon. I'm going to be playing some Halo Infinite with the crew because we haven't played that in a while, and so there was a time set to play some of that. So we will be doing that next week. But this weekend, I believe Saturday, at least on Saturday, if not also on Sunday, we're gonna play some Helldivers 2, and I am excited to try that out. Am I gonna have to stand this up? Okay. Well, that will stand up like this with its big ass shield. I'm gonna read what y'all been writing. Lashbrook says, after 82 hours, wow, I finally got all the endings in Silent Hill F. That's a lot of endings. I know, but that's also a lot of goddamn playing of one video game to get all them endings. I need C220, but also congratulations, Lashbrook. I'm doing one more run on the hardest combat difficulty to wrap up the last couple of achievements I need for 100%. I also was gifted Queue Up, which is surprisingly funny and has a story to it. Yes, I have watched some people play Queue Up, and that does seem fun. There's a lot more going on there than I originally thought, and that's cool. I have heard though, weren't they like releasing a patch for Silent Hill F to make it a little easier to do all the multiple endings? I think you might have gotten in there before that patch came out. So my apologies, Lashbrook. But it sounds like they might be doing an update for that, or they did finish an update for that to make it a little easier. And Nathan Explosion says, I got really into Fortnite recently because of the Simpsons crossover. Yeah, makes sense. They made a whole Simpsons map that's been real fun to run around since the smaller than regular map. Yes, I have also been watching people play Fortnite, and that does look fucking great. Also, there's been a bunch of updates to the Lego stuff, the Lego Fortnite, that I might check out again. The only Fortnite I've ever played has been Lego related, and I might go and check out the recent updates because a few people I know are real high on it. So I might check that out. Lord Crashington, he's thinking about going to see Running Man tomorrow during their day off. That's awesome. If you do go see it, I hope you have a great time. Tomorrow night, I am going to watch a Choco Pro show. That is the promotion owned and operated by Emi Sakura. She recently celebrated her 30 years of wrestling with a show, and I am going to check that out tomorrow because I have not seen it. I've heard very good things. And then I still have not seen the main event 2 matches in Ultimate Party from DDT, so I'm going to be checking those out as well. I watched most of that show, but it was a very long show, so I have not seen the final 2 matches, and I'm going to rewatch Chris Brooks versus Zack Sabre Jr. because that match fucking ruled. That's one of my favorite matches of 2025. Those two boys fucking love each other and are also both incredibly good wrestlers, and it was a joy to watch them wrestle. That's an unbelievably good match that I recommend you track down if you like good wrestling matches. Zack Sabre Jr. Versus Chris Brooks in DDT Ultimate Party 25. And then I've heard very good things about the main event. Umino taking on, putting the DDT Universal title against, Universal title versus the KOD Heavyweight title. Umino versus Minoru Suzuki. It's not a unification. I think whoever wins both belts. I believe that was what the stipulation was. The Universal is their international traveling belt, it's supposed to be. Although that hasn't necessarily always happened, but it can happen. And then the KOD heavyweight belt is their main title. Okay, we need 22 there, and then 23 goes over there. But yeah, I'm excited to see a main event Minoru Suzuki that is not a nightmare and sad to watch. Always excited to see that. Not because of Minoru, but because some of his recent opponents have been should not have been cleared to wrestle, we'll say. So I'm excited to see him do his thing. I'm going to do that tomorrow. And then, like I said, got at least one date with Helldivers 2. Gonna play some Halo next week. Tomorrow is also the beginning of Desert Bus for Hope 2025, and so I will be tuning in for opening ceremonies of that tomorrow. I watch a lot of it daytime live, and then the overnight stuff I mostly watch clips of, and I jump in out here and there. Honestly, what I often would do is I would watch the shift that I liked, the night watch. I would miss the first hour because of this, and then I would go and watch the rest of it live, and then jump back and watch the first hour like the next day, or clips of the first hour at least. But I, now I have the people that I like are spread out between a lot of different shifts, so it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to keep up, but whatever. They've moved people around, which is good because it makes it for a more balanced show, but bad when I'm like, oh, well, there was a time where everybody I liked was on one shift, and now it's not the case. Anyway, it's a love. If you've never watched Desert Bus for Hope, it is a lovely event. It is a phenomenal charity event that you should go check out. I think you really like it. If you're like, I don't want to watch people play that video game, don't worry about it. The video game part is the least important part. The fundraising and the entertainment that is provided is the more important part. The idea is they're playing a very boring video game and then entertaining around that. And it's very good. And also, lots of fucking giveaways. Just like an unbelievably high amount of cool giveaways. So, like, if you're looking for that too, if you need an incentive to be charitable, you'll find it. You'll figure it out. So let's see. I'm not going to finish this kit tonight, but we are going to get some of it done. I have realized that I forgot to do the sticker, and so I am going to do the sticker here, and then I will probably finish up by putting some of these in. We are going to finish this kit up on Saturday, because I do need to panel line this whole thing and finish it up, but we'll get the sticker on and then kind of call it quits after that, and then just finish up the what's left of this build on Saturday, and then start something new. Make sure what do I have left. I just have pieces of the beam saber left, which I'm not going to build. Throw that over there, and then the last of the sticker, which is all. It looks like it's 3 stickers, but this is just one long sticker. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great weekend. I mean, we're not done here, right? But we're getting close to wrapping up. And I hope people come by on Saturday for when I'm figuring out the new kit. I have. Let's see. What is my backlog? My backlog right now is a fairly easy to build kit that is that I think is a 1-stream build. It might be a 1 1/4 stream build, but I have a 1-stream build kit. I have an old model kit that's been in my backlog for a long time, and then I have a Lego set, which shouldn't take too long, but it's more than 1 stream Lego set that looks neat. That's my current backlog, and then I have stuff that I have purchased that is coming. I believe the model kit is coming on Saturday. Let me see. I have one model kit coming, I have a Lego set coming on Saturday. And then I have, that's coming Saturday. And then I have a model kit that will come, I don't know when, because it's coming from New Jersey, and I don't know when that's going to even get shipped. So I don't know when that's coming. And then I will be buying more stuff to restock the backlog as well. I'm looking for sales. I'm looking for good deals. So I will attempt to find those good deals and those sales, and then pass the savings on to me, honestly. But what, you know, I can't. What I can do is I can tell you what's in my backlog right now. The first thing I have in my backlog. So we're gonna just add some images here. First thing, because this is the easiest way to do this. The first thing that's in my backlog is the Lego money tree. This is a giant thing here. Big image. Lego money tree in my backlog. A thing that I could build that will get voted on, and maybe people will vote for this. This looks awesome. I'm excited to build this. This is on my wish list. I have to change the name of this thing here. But yeah, this is on my wish list. I will build it at some point. Also on my wish list, Goku and Piccolo. Not wish list. I'm sorry. This is my backlog here. Goku and Piccolo. It's Goku and Piccolo right here. Why can't I find this in? Why can't it? I don't know why I can't highlight this image. Oh, it was locked. For some reason, I locked this image, so I couldn't. There it is. It's Goku and Piccolo from Daima. This is very similar. It's a different pose from the other Goku that's with Vegeta, but I want to have both of these and put them together. So I've got that one now. And then the other image that I have to add in here is the other thing, which is it's a Super Gundam. Let me find that so you can see what that looks like. It is the RX-178 plus the FXA-05D Super Gundam. It is a kit. It is very similar to a previous kit that we have built on stream, only it comes with a giant stupid backpack that rules. It's the Super Gundam. They call it the fucking Super Gundam, and I love it, and I can't wait to build it. This has been in my backlog since either early this year or sometime last year. It's been in my backlog for quite a fucking long time, and I am excited to finally work on it at some point. Those are the three things that will be up for voting for my patrons. My $10 patrons will vote on that. Whoops. This has to go in the middle there. Sorry, that's the alerts. That should be locked. That should be locked. But yeah, at some point I will build these things there. We'll get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. And we're going to finish this up with a few more pieces, and then panel lining it will be completed on Saturday stream. We'll finish that off there. And that is going to do it for tonight's stream. The fucking Super Gundam. Indeed, Lord Crashington, the Super Gundam. Which is what I'll be working on. Or maybe I'll be working on that next. I don't know. I don't know what people are going to vote on. If they're going to vote on Goku and Piccolo, if they're going to vote on the Super Gundam, if they're going to vote on the Lego money tree. But that's, tomorrow I'll put the poll up and we'll see. And that's what I'll be starting on Saturday after I finish this up, which is going to take a little time because I do have to panel line this whole lance and also finish building it. It's not done yet. There's still a couple more pieces and the connector. And then this will sit on, I don't remember how this goes, but there's something that will clip onto this. I don't know where that is, but this clips on somewhere and then you can hold it. Oh, it clips on like this, I think. Like here. Yeah, it goes like that. And then it doesn't fall, which is important. That's important. But anyway, we'll figure that all out. I am going to go on a raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find somebody doing cool stuff that we want to go hang out with, and we're going to share the love and hang out. And obviously, the next several streams, we will be just going to hang out in the Desert Bus stuff. But right now, we are going to go hang out with Ra. That's right. Ra is streaming. We love Ra. I think Ra is doing a stream about checking out music. And I'm sure other stuff's going to happen, but Ra is checking out a bunch of music and styles of music that she has just slept on for a while, it sounds like. And she's going to check those out, and we'll kind of hang out with her while she does it. And maybe you'll find out some music that you're psyched about. Maybe you'll get a cool thing. You'll be happy about that. I don't know. But feel free to come along on this raid. Ra is just the best, and I'm just happy she's back streaming and hanging out and doing stuff. We'll go hang out with her. And then Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, I will finish up the kit I've been working on. I will start a new kit, and it's going to be rad. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I will see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.